everybody, welcome back to my channel, and for today's video I am gonna show you how I edit my videos, how to edit like a pro. And if you're just a beginner, this video is also for you because I had no idea how this worked when I just started, but it's actually not that hard and I'm going to show you all the easy ways to do things. Let's just get started. So I'm going to show you how I just go through my whole video. I'm going to show you the easy keys you can use to like cut and stuff like that, my transitions, the way I do all kinds of different text, sound effects, borders and extra touches, which are the most fun, color grading and music. So those are basically the things that I'm going to talk about. I'm going to try to explain everything quick and easy. Try my best to not make this video too long. I kept a few of my other videos that I've edited just to show you what an edited video looks like with me. So this is my try-on haul that I uploaded last week. So this is basically what that looks like. I think what looks like a lot is just the try-on haul parts, because they have a lot of layers and there's a lot that goes into that. I'm gonna show you later how I do this with the try-on haul parts. Make a new project and I'm just gonna call it edit video. So I just drag them in like that. In the beginning it's okay, but at some point it's getting kind of dark. So that's good for color grading, which I'm going to show you later. Basically what I do first is I go through the whole video and I cut out the parts that I don't want and I keep the parts that I do want, and I'm not looking yet at how long the video turns out to be. I don't do like the text and the zoom and stuff like that. I don't do that yet. I just go through the video and cut the stuff that I don't want. I'm gonna show you how to do this easily, how to start. When I just started using this, I had no idea how to cut up a video. So basically, there's an easy key for that. You just get the red line that you see moving around here and you go stand on the part that you want to cut. When you press Command B, you cut. It's really easy. Now, if you want to delete something, then you just select that part, or you select both parts, multiple parts if you want, then you click backspace and then it's gone. Now if you think, oh, but I didn't want to do that, then you go one step back and you do that with Command C, and then you have it back what you just did. And if you want to do it again, I press Command Shift and C and then it's back to being cut. So to go one step back, Command C, and to go one step forward is Command Shift C. Okay, so let's say that I cut this part and I cut this part and I want a transition there. How I do that, now I'm gonna show you right now how I do that. This is my transition if you don't watch my videos. I like to do like this glitchy thing. Okay, the glitchy thing is not an official transition. In Final Cut Pro, I do that with the effects. But there are transitions in Final Cut Pro, and when you go to the right here, you click on the very right symbol and then you have transitions. And basically I never use these, but I always use the same transition, so I never really look at this, but there are a lot and a lot. So yeah, there are these transitions, and right next to it are the effects. There are a lot of good effects in here for sure. So how I do my transition, so I zoom in. I didn't even tell you this, but if you want to zoom in and out, you could do that with your fingers on your touchpad, but you could also do it with Command minus and Command plus. So every time you do Command plus, you zoom in a little bit, and with Command minus you zoom out. Basically I just zoom in, then I cut the last part of the first video, and then I cut the first part of the second video. What I do is I look for, okay, normally I type it in because I'm lazy, but you could also just go to stylize in video effects, and then at the top you already have bad TV, and then I just drag it onto those two. You click on it, you hold it, and you drag it onto the video part where you want it to be. You could also use the video effects on text and stuff like that. So that's basically how I do my transition. It's really not that hard, but I do kind of like it, and if you want to use it, then definitely do. It wasn't my first idea. I also watched a few of those how I edit videos, and this one right here, I'll link it down below, but she also did this in her video, like this transition, and that's why I use it, because I really liked it. So definitely go check out that video too. I'll link some videos down below that have helped me. So now how I do like the zoom and like a slow zoom or something like that, like not an instant zoom, but like how it kind of zooms in really quick and how it like moves around. It's not that hard, you just have to get used to it. Okay, so let's say that I just want to zoom in this part, then I just cut it up. This part I want it to be zoomed in, so I select it, make sure that it's selected. And then I go to here to transform on the side. And then at scale, I just basically drag it up a little bit. I zoom in. I just want to center it a little bit. So basically what I do is I go to the Y and I drag it up. So the Y, of course, is for up and down, and the X is for sideways. Now I could do it a little bit like this, and then I'm centered. So basically that's how I do that. And then when you look at it, it's zoomed in. Now I want it to like kind of smoothly zoom in. And then I want to move it around. Okay, so basically what you do first is you go to the end point to where you want the zoom in to stop. You want it to go back to normal. Then you cut there. After the cut, it's just going to go back to normal, so you don't do anything with that. For now, the zoom in, you go stand on the point where you want to zoom in to start, and then you go here to the right to transform. What you do here on the side, you have these boxes kind of, and it says add a keyframe. So what you do is you click on the top one, and then it turns yellow, and then you also click on the third one, and then automatically the two boxes under it also are yellow. So this is what you want. You want like these to be yellow, and then you just leave it at that. Okay, so basically you don't do anything here. You just click those boxes, then you go to the point where you want the zoom in to stop, then you go stand on there, and then you click those same boxes again. So then you have this in the second point. Okay, and what you do then is you zoom in to where you want it to zoom in, and then you kind of move it around the way you want it to. When you play back, it looks like that. So it's like a smooth zoom in, it's not an instant zoom. Now I want to move it around. So let's say I want to move like to the corner. I don't know why I would want that, but let's just say that I want that. Now I'm gonna go stand on the point where I wanted to start moving. This is the point where I wanted to start again. I click the same boxes and I don't do anything here. I go to the second point, of course, where I want it to stop, where I want the moving or the zooming to stop. I check the same boxes again, and then I move it around to where I want it to be. I want to like go down, and then when I go play it back now, it looks like this. So you zoom in, it moves, and where I cut it is where it stops. So then it just goes back to normal. You could also make it zoom back out to normal if you don't want the instant cut back. I'm gonna show you how to do that now really quickly. You go stand on the point where you want the zoom out to start. You check the boxes. Then you go to the point where you want it to stop. You check the boxes. And to make it go back to normal, you just basically, the scale goes back to 100%, and the X and Y go back to 0, and then it will zoom out smoothly, just like in the beginning. Just like that. And then you don't have that instant cut where it's back to normal, but it smoothly zooms out again. You just have to play around with it a little bit, but in the end it's not so hard. Now the text, I'm still kind of playing around with this because there are so many options in text. If you want to add a text to your video, press Ctrl-T, and then you have a basic title that comes into your videos. So in the beginning of my videos, which you have seen in this video, in the corner I have my social medias. So basically what I do for that, I already have text saved. So this is something you can do. It's very easy. If you find like a cute font, or you find like this cute text with cute colors and stuff like that, and you don't want to have to do it every time, then you can just save it, save all format and appearance attributes. And then you can give it a name and it will show up in here, and it's very easy to do. For the one in the beginning with the social medias, I use IG and Twitter too. And I'm gonna show you what's in here. So it's the font Jungle, I'm sorry. And basically you can see that there's like, I'm just gonna make it a little bit bigger for you so you can see it better. Basically there's like this kind of glowy pink line around it. So when we go down, you see that face and outline is checked. Face is already checked always when you make a font. Basically this is just the color of the title itself. So when I would move this around, I can make it red. So that is face if you want to change the color of the text itself. Now outline, I checked that myself. When you do that, you can see it adds the line around it. Now I used a pink color. I just kind of played around with the width, because I do want you to be able to kind of see the pink line. Now you may have noticed that it's kind of like glitchy, just like with my transition. I like for the text to like glitch in. I zoom in a little bit, I go to the beginning of the text, then I cut it, and then I again get the bad TV effect, I drag it onto that first part, and when you look at it, it glitches in. I also do that in the end. I'm getting a call. Hello?
Hi.
I'm sorry, I had a visitor. Okay, so I wasn't screen recording, but basically what I do is I drag another bad TV on top of it, and then I actually change the blue noise, and then I drag the amount way down. But it looks like this. It glitches in, and it's still kind of glitchy. It has this glitchy look, and then it glitches out again. So something else that I did is with the static blend mode, I changed it from screen to add. I already have one pre-saved. And how you do that, so you select it, and then here in the bottom you have save effects preset. You click on that. Now I have two bad TVs, but let's just ignore that. Let's say that we only have one. So we have here the bad TV, and you select the things that you want to have in that preset. So everything that you changed is already selected. You give it a name, and then it will be in here with the effects. So basically I already have a preset for this one. Something else that I like to use sometimes is when the text like kind of types in, and you also have like the typewriter sound in the background. How I do that is you're here at the top, left top of your screen, and here you have libraries. That's probably what it's on. And then the third icon, when you click on that, you have titles and generators. I look in titles, I look for typewriter. I drag that in, it types in, and now because the word is a little bit small, it doesn't have the best effect. But let's say editing video or something like that, you know, I'm just gonna make it a little bit bigger for you to see. As you can see right now, it types in. So it is already in the typewriter font, but you can easily use any font that you like. Yes, even downloaded ones. This is one that I downloaded. Usually you also hear like this typewriter sound in the back. This I actually just downloaded from YouTube, and if you've never done that before, if you don't know how that works, I'll show you really quickly. So here we are on YouTube. Basically what I look for, typewriter sound effect. So you have different ones, you have a lot of different videos. I just used this one, the second one from 5 seconds. And what you do, I just look for YouTube MP3, and when you look for that, you'll get a bunch of sites. So you just copy the site name kind of thing, the address, then you paste it in here, then you just download. So basically that's how you do that. So, and then we have the typewriting sound. So basically that's what I also use. I really like that. And now some fonts that I like to use. I found one yesterday and I think it's so cute, and I just want to share it with you because oh my god, it's so aesthetic and cute. So when you go to the bottom right here, you have the synchro let. It's already in here, it's not downloaded. When you click on it, it is so cute. It's like the old video game kind of style font, and I really like it. I think it's so incredibly cute. Lately I've kind of been switching it up because there's so many cute fonts that you can use. So definitely just have a look around. Now I just don't really have one that I always use. This one is also cute. I used this one in my last video too. So sound effects, I already kind of explained. Like the typewriter sound effect, what I also like to use is like the clicking sound. But basically what I do for sound effects is I just look up sound effects YouTubers use, and then you basically get all of those popular sound effects that you see a lot in other people's videos, and then you could just kind of go through that. That's basically where I get my sound effects off of YouTube. Now, like I showed you before, for my try-on haul, I had like this border around it. Now I'm gonna show you how I do this. I mean, there are many ways that you can like have a cute background and borders and stuff like that, but I'll just show you how I did this one. So I'm just gonna grab this part. When I use like a border or a background, I like to use pastel colors, but you could also like use like a flower background or whatever you want, but I like to use pastel colors. I like to keep colors in my videos, and I think it's so cute and aesthetic. So what I actually look for is just in Google, I search pastel colors, and when I already know what kind of color I want, I would just look for like pastel pink. I already have one, so I'm just gonna drag that one in. So I'm just gonna drag it on here. I need to zoom this video out because of course I want the pink to be in the background, so this one needs to be smaller. So what I do is I go to scale again and transform on the side, and then I just drag it down instead of up, and then it zooms out. Now as you can see, it's kind of weird, so because the pink is a square, so what we do is we zoom the pink in a lot. As you might have noticed, there were like stars in the background. What I did for this, I'm gonna go back to YouTube. what you're gonna look for is green screen overlays for edits. Something like that. These are just green screen videos with effects over it. You can use that for your videos. So there are like borders and like stars. Here you have like this border around it. It's really cute. So this is basically just what I look for, green screen overlays. So I screen record what I like. Let's see, here we have some stars. I'm gonna drag this in. I'm gonna show you how I did this. The MacBook screen is not the right size. You have to zoom in a little bit so it is the right size. Okay, so now we have a green background, which is not what we want. So now we're gonna go to effects here on the right. Under videos, you go to keying, and then you have keyer. You drag that one on top of the one with the green screen, and the green goes away. So now it's transparent. So that is basically what I did here. And just one last thing, if you might have noticed, there were like these round edges. When you go to effects and you go to masks, you have this shape mask right here. You drag that one on top of the one where you want the round edges, and right now it's definitely not what we want it to be. Okay, so let me just play around with it a little bit. Okay, so now I just kind of played around with it. I do need to change a lot before I actually get to where I want, so I also made a preset of this one. But as you can see, these are the settings where I'm at right now, but I'll just drag the one in that I already saved. So this is the one that I had. So this is the one that I actually used. So these are the settings right here. If you also want to do this and you want it like this, or you want at least this to start off with, you can play around with it a little bit. But this is how I did it. Now, color grading. I've seen some videos where YouTubers really take it to the next level with color grading. They do a lot of things and I'm like, that does just not work for me. So I basically just keep it kind of simple with color grading. Okay, so I watched this video and she linked to another video and you had to download something to do this, but you don't exactly have to. But I do like to have it, so I'm just gonna show you. This is what I downloaded. It's basically like a text, as you can see. It is different. What I do with color grading is when you go to effects again and you go to all, you have the color board right, left, in the top. So you could either drag this onto the base correction that I just put in. If you don't want to download it or something like that, you could also just easily drag it onto the video, and it's basically the same. So that is really up to you, but sometimes when I just forget to do it, and because you could either do it in the beginning right away, but I forget that sometimes. But then I like to do this because if I don't, then I have to drag it on top of every single cut up video, and that's a lot of work. So I like to have this. I'll link everything down below. So basically you drag the color board on top, whether it is the base correction or the video itself, and then here in the top you go to the third icon with the colors. So you have three options. You have color, saturation, and exposure. Basically what I look at first is the brightness, and so right here I'm in exposure, and what I like to do, white dot thingy, it is the highlights one. I just drag this one up. So you have the master, shadows, midtones, and highlights. But what happens when I drag shadows up, you see that there's like this fake thing over it, and it's just weird. It gets so fake. It's weird. I only drag the highlights up to where I like it. Now it looks much brighter, which is good. So then I also like to drag the saturation up a little bit. Not too much, but just so the colors are better. So with this one I do like to use the master because it's fine. If we see the difference right now, this is already much better. So what I do with the color, here again we have 4 dots. Okay, so you can have the master, shadows, midtones, and highlights. And I get the master and I drag it up around the orange yellow, and then I drag it up just a little bit to where it like gives a little bit of a warmer tone, but it's not like too orange or anything. So you do have to be careful with it, and this is so sensitive, and I cannot figure out the right way to do this, so I just do it slightly but noticeable. And basically this is the difference, and it looks so much brighter and more alive here. As you can see, it's such a big difference, and you really don't have to make this harder than it is. You can just play around with it a little bit, and once you think, oh, this is good, you can just save it. Like I showed before, you can go to save effect presets, and then you just check the color board, and then you give it a name, And basically I also do this. I just have one that I always drag on top of it. This really can make your videos so much better. Now for music, I always find it hard, but one tip that I'm giving to you, because of course you don't want your videos to be copyrighted, what I really notice is when it's just kind of softly playing in the background while you're talking, it really doesn't matter if it's copyright free or not. And while I'm talking, it just doesn't notice it, but like for an intro or something, it is important that you do pay attention to that. You could look up on YouTube like copyright free music or aesthetic copyright music, something like that, but keep in mind that some of those are still not exactly copyright free because some are a little bit older and some just get copyrighted at some point later on. They're not exactly to always be trusted, but if it's just for while you're talking, you can still easily use it. Now here are some songs that I kind of know for sure are not copyright free at this moment. I don't really pay a lot of attention to the music. I just always play it in the background kind of softly. That is basically it for music. Yeah, I think I've told you basically everything that I do. So that was it for this video. I hope you liked it, and if you did, don't forget to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. I really hope this helped you. If you have any questions, don't be afraid to ask. I will respond to every single one of your comments because I love you, and I hope I will see you in my next video.